Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's where you'll find our incredible short courses. In under 60 minutes, you'll grow all the key skills, covering specific areas like how to hire an assistant, grow a team, to list better properties, to grow better fees, and to master your pipeline. Welcome to High Performance Podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, we're going to talk about an interesting one today. Competitors or customers. And sometimes you see agents that are absolutely obsessed about what competitors are doing, and they're really worried about them in the lounge room, and they're worried about what fee they charge, and they're worried about what they're doing and what they're saying to sellers. Yet there are other agents who are like, I'll have a bit of awareness about that, but I'm just going to focus a lot on customers. What do you think? Like, can it drive you to try to beat competitors, or does it drive you more to just go and serve more customers and play the game and be really good at what you do?
I think if you're worried about competitors, and that seems to be what a lot of top performing agents are, you can sort of probably drain you because you're worried about that maybe they're doing more deals than you or selling more, and you sort of can get a little bit probably depressed from it.
Yes.
And it's just a waste of time. Like watching them on Domain and REA, just, seeing their listings come through and whatnot, it's just, it would be,
debilitating.
It would be. So, why not, like you said, shift that mindset.
Yes.
Call 10 buyers, call 10 potential sellers, give them some, good case studies around the market or what's happening out there. Just to do what you should be doing to try and build your momentum and your brand on who you are and trying to find new listings.
A mindset I've got is that, don't be on the grandstands talking about what's going on, be on the field and make it actually happen on the ground.
Yeah.
And this is the important foundational idea, is that literally you've got to become 100% obsessed about the customer base. When I have a look at you from one call to the next, to the next, to the next, any time that literally you're in a car or you're walking, you've got time that where you're not in front of a customer and it's work time, you're trying to think, who could I call and what could I say? How important is it for agents to start to say, hey, just think about the basics. A listings has happened, a sales has happened, you've seen a change in the share market, something's gone on. Who would be impacted in my customer base? Jump on the phone, ring them. 30 seconds later, you either got an opportunity or you've created the opportunity for a referral, or you might have actually just continued to build a good relationship. A lot of people don't think that way, and instead they're waiting for the database or the CRM or AI to tell them who to call next. And there's an interesting conversation. There's some agents who are saying to me, we're really fearful of what's going to happen with AI, and that AI in the future will be doing the open home callbacks. Do you think that that's going to create a problem for agents, that an AI, voice is going to make a callback and, handle all of that conversation? Or is there still going to be room for great hustlers who call people at the right time about the right things and build good relationships?
Yeah, I don't see that taking over. I think, and that's why you do more face-to-face.
Yes.
Forget the phone calls, sit in front of people, do vendor meetings face-to-face, do buyer work face-to-face, do appraisals face-to-face, like that. And a computer can't do that for you.
And this is that whole idea, though, is that what you're thinking about is the number one thing that helps you to trade is the quality of your relationships. So what you're thinking about, you drive down a street, I know that one, that one, that one. When that one comes up, I need to ring them about that. People are not visual with their data or visual with their relationships. When you look at someone, I bet you that you almost imagine, no, that's where they live. You actually know that. So you almost look at me and go, he's on the inner west. If he was east, I'd take him. But is that important for people to start to think about visualization of that data?
I've run into so many people in the street that they know me. I've got no idea who they are, but I go, they live, and I just type in, the street. And I go, that's their name.
Yes.
So, it does. Visually, I'm sort of, programmed a little bit like that. But I think, driving, it's, particularly because I'm in my car all day. I'm driving down the street and go, haven't called that person, I need to call them while you're in the car. There's so many, people that you can always be calling and keeping front of mind and top of mind, and social proof that you're still, the most active, in the marketplace.
It's interesting. You sent me a link once to a video on YouTube, and I think it was a documentary about Jordan, and it was a conversation about that. And what was really interesting in this was about driving your own level of competitiveness. How do you, that's a healthy thing, right? To say, how does Alexander Phillips perform better than he did yesterday, last week, last month, this time last year? Do you still get a bit of a rush about trying to, do either more listings or more sales, or to look after more customers than what you've done before?
Yeah, big time. That's what keeps you making sure that you're, top of the game is trying to always evolve and get better and be on top of it.
And, and being like where you are in the industry, there's lots of people that want to try to beat you. So you're going in against people might drop a fee or change marketing or be in a position that maybe they give a much higher inflated price. Your job is to say, hang on a second, how do I be the very best for this seller? Because I remember you said to me once, I feel like that I've got this duty that if they don't sell with me, there's a risk that they will undersell if they use someone else.
Correct.
And so like when you think about that, your level of energy and passion to want to drive is such an important skill set, right?
Big time.